My goal for this conference was you walk in and you look around and say, this is important. Everybody in the room is going to be believing one thing: we're going to expand.
It's been more than I ever imagined. We've already got our tickets for next year as well.
30 countries have showed up for this event.
Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone, can you please clap your hands? People, come on.
I'm here to help you. Finally, I feel like I'm doing something equivalent to what I'm supposed to do.
Let's fix this place, Kevin Hart.
Are you ready to 10X?
Phenomenal success story. Give it up for Floyd Mayweather.
Welcome to the G&E show, the virtual G&E show. First and foremost, hello. Grant and I bring it to you every Wednesday, no matter what, because no virus is gonna stop us.
That's right, baby doll. That's right.
That's right. So today we did want to talk about priorities. I always feel it's very important to define the meaning of the word priority. The definition that pertains to this episode is thing that is regarded as more important than another. So that is what a priority is. It is the thing that is regarded as more important than the other. So today we want to talk to you about how do you know how to figure out what your priorities are, which ones are the most important, and how to combat that. Grant's going to help you today with all that.
You know, what's funny, Elena,
we want
real quick, what's funny is people are saying to me, Grant, why do you have the mask on? There's nobody around you.
Because you like your 10X mask, baby, and you look hot in it. And mama likes it because it acts as a little muzzle.
Yeah, but what's funny, yeah, that's funny. What's even funnier than that is he's making a good point, because he's like, look, you're wearing a mask and there's no one around you. It's kind of the way people went out and bought toilet paper the first week. You know, it's an out sequence of priorities. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm scared, so I'm gonna go get toilet paper. But the truth is, if you're gonna go, like, if things are gonna get really bad, toilet paper is probably not the first thing you need. There's probably some other things you need. So that's why you and I wanted to do this today, to talk to people about what is it.
Why do you think people went to toilet paper as the thing first? You think this country's just not understanding what it is to be broke, so all of a sudden toilet paper became the priority? People
thinking about wiping up instead of swiping up. People thinking about, you know, like, people haven't been broke in too long. I know when you're broke, mm-hmm. wiping Charmin is, you don't need Charmin. When you're really broke, toilet paper is not the first thing you go buy. What we did, and I'm gonna be sharing this tomorrow night in our mentor call. We're doing 8 weeks of mentor call, as you know, Elena. And Johnny, can you put that in here, Johnny, so some people can come into our Zoom meeting? Gotcha. Put it on my live so people can pop in here if they want to. We're going to invite a handful of people to come in, maybe ask some questions here in the G&E show that we do every Wednesday. So what do people do? Why did people react to that? It's because they saw their neighbors going to get toilet paper. And thinking,
so everyone just got mentality that they need toilet paper, and that was the thing that was going to get them through this. Now, initially, we all were kind of taught and led to believe that it was going to be a 2-week thing. And so if everything shut down, maybe in their defense, they were thinking, okay, a little bit of toilet paper to get me through this 2-week process. Now, obviously, it's going to go a lot longer than that, and the stores are open, so the fear about toilet paper is subsiding. But what are you saying is the first thing people should think about right now, knowing everything that we know, regrouping, reassessing? What is the first thing that we did and are doing right now?
Yeah. So people are saying, just so you know, because I'm looking at my Instagram, they're saying people in Venezuela went and got toilet paper first. Why did they do that? Because people are reacting as a mass group of people and all doing a similar thing. It's a reaction. What people should be doing right now is looking at reassessing their priorities at that moment. The first thing you and I did was, and whether you know it or not, Elena, because I did some of this in my own mind and then sat down with you and talked to you about it, was the first thing I did was take myself to zero. I took the family to zero, our income to zero, the companies to zero, the assets to zero, the real estate to zero, the book sales to zero. And then I, number one, took everything to zero. When you're at zero, you're not worried about wiping your butt. The next thing you're worried about is, how do I bring something in? Okay, if the world's going to hell and the economy is going to crash, the second thing I want to do now is assess my assets and my liabilities to see what it is that I have that maybe yesterday I needed, that I could convert, yesterday that I took for granted, that I could now convert to a asset, maybe something that I could start producing money with rather than buying toilet paper. And the third thing that we did, and you know this better than maybe people that are joining us because you were right there in the scene, is
Well, let me tell you one thing about what you just said, and I know you might not think that I was unfortunately fortunate, and I learned from what we did back then was exactly that. We went to zero, it felt like, in 2008, or very close to. We were at a make-break point. We did not know if we were going to survive the times. So I knew to take myself to zero this time as well. You know, everything we just, and from that time, you told me all back in 2008, when I said, how are we going to get through this? You told me all spending stops. If it does not help us generate income or doesn't help us, then it has to go. So I don't know if you realize this, but we were in a very prosperous time, you and I, within our company and in our organization when this pandemic struck us. We've been married for 16 years, and you had given, or I had borrowed, a very beautiful engagement ring. We were thinking about maybe a new engagement ring and this beautiful pair of diamond earrings. And, you know, everyone knows I'm not a jewelry person, clearly, but that was a really special thing. And I was really looking forward to that. And the moment that happened, I called Rock, my executive assistant, and I said, Rock, figure out, this is behind your back, by the way. And I was dying to have that ring. And I said, call up and get him to pick up the jewelry. It's not the time. I don't want it. I knew that we had to go to zero and we had to economize. And if it's not going to make us money, it has to go. So that's what I did in first week rather than buy toilet paper. So I do, and I do know the steps. But as always, you have been a mentor before. I'm willing and eager to learn how we're going to get through the rest of it. So we have, you took yourself to zero. I knew that. Economize. What would come next?
Economize my efforts, my energy, my resources. And to do that, you need to assess what was an asset yesterday, might be a liability today. I'm freezing up on my side, Elena. I don't know if you are, if it's all good. And then like what was a liability that right now might be you be able to turn into an asset. Now, I'm going to be sharing this tomorrow night in our mentor call, Elena. I think it's at, what time is it, Johnny? What time's our mentor call tomorrow night, Johnny? And I need to see you, Johnny. I don't see your video. Anybody that wants to come in and ask questions, I need your full video on. What time's our call tomorrow night, Johnny?
So our call tomorrow night is at 8 p.m., but we like to get started at 7:30 so you guys can start networking.
Yeah, so the website is grantcardone.com/mentor. I want to spend the next 8 weeks making sure people aren't doing dumb stuff like buying toilet paper. That's not the way out of this deal. Okay, the way out of this deal is to sit down, get to zero as fast as you can. You do not want to be sitting thinking that you're in a better position than you are.
Can you clarify, just for people who might not be following you or familiar, what you mean when you say take it to zero? Because I could sit here and interpret that as to go to zero. Does that mean spend all my money till I literally go to zero?
No. What I mean is you basically, it's basically an exercise. It's an imaginary exercise where you take yourself to, I don't have anything. There was a project that I was involved in that people will know more about later. But basically, I was given a little bit of money. I took the money and I immediately brought it to the bank. Like, you're going to need that money. I'm like, no, I don't need that money. I need my resources. I need my crate, my duffel bag, and my feet. I need to move. I can't think that something at the bank or a KEO account or a retirement account. For those of you who have a 401k, that money should be converted right now and go to work. You want to go to zero. You want to use money right now. So number one, go to zero. Quit thinking you have a cushion. I talked to a guy yesterday. He's like, man, I'm good because I got some money saved. That's the wrong thinking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the wrong thinking. What you want to do is you want to immediately get to acceptance of the situation being worst case scenario. Not that it's going to be worst case scenario. Create your own bad news. Number two, now assess assets and liabilities to see what you can do to economize everywhere. What did you buy? What obligations do you have? And again, I'll be going into this over the next, starting tomorrow night, over 8 weeks, walking people through what they should be doing. The third thing is, hey man, how do I go ahead, Elena.
Don't forget what you were going to say. I just wanted to stop you right there and say, can we get one example of how I would turn a liability into an asset? Or is that something I should wait for the mentor call?
No. That would be like, what's a liability that I could flip to an asset? Okay. I have something. Most people think liabilities are just debt, but they're not. Let's say I have something, I have a car and my house is paid for.
Okay. That would seem like an asset, is it not?
No, the car's sitting there. It's in the garage. I can't even drive it right now. Like, there's no place to go. That might be a way to get some cash right now. It could be a watch that was paid for. You need right now more than you need. Maybe you have a firearm that has no ammo. Well, guess what? That thing is a liability without bullets in it. And if you don't know how to use it, don't want to use it, and you're scared to use it, just sell it because it's not going to be any good to you. It's a liability. You got liabilities all over your house. Okay. The other thing you could do is you could take things you no longer use, and you could barter. Again, we're going to be going through this. I'm going to give people worksheets on how they can actually go through. Let's take some questions from the audience, but you need to be able to assess all your liabilities, all your assets, everything you have, and see which column it stands in right now, including people. And the people, it's a really big deal. Who's in your life that can help you? Who in your life is a liability now? Where were you going that you can't go anymore, et cetera. Don't wait for the government to make this. Also, how to use the stimulus program. These programs that didn't exist 5 minutes ago. How can you use them? The SBA loan, should you take it or not take it? Let's take some questions, Elena. How do we do that, Johnny?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to take some questions. I just didn't want to miss out on the third thing that you were going to say before I interrupted about the example of the liability. Did you already cover that with it? Is it who you surround yourself with and how to barter? Was that what you were going to say?
Yeah, that could be part of it as well. Like who's in your life? Because when you get to acceptance of a situation as bad as it is, I'll give you the example that your house is on fire. You don't go buy toilet paper. Put the fire out. Okay, that's what you do first. You don't blame people. You don't hate. You don't go to Instagram. You don't watch videos. You put the fire out, and then you ask for help if the fire's bigger than you think you can manage yourself. The first thing people should be doing right now is raising their hand, joining for help. Okay, if you haven't asked for a mentor to get you through this, you are not in acceptance of how big this scene is. Okay, I've already reached out and asked people for help. I have a call in 24 minutes about help. If you guys have not raised your hand and say, I will buy your help right now, buy your guidance, buy your wisdom, you do not understand the full magnitude of this situation. In my life, the biggest turning points in my life have been when I raised my hand and said, hey, I'm tapping out. I'm beyond, I'm over my head. You know, what's deep water? What's deep water? Anything above your head is deep water.
Yeah.
For me, that's 5'9". That's deep water. You do not have to be in 50 feet of water to be in deep water. Everybody today is in deep water because we're in a new realm of existence. Let's take some questions, Elena. Let's start with Johnny. You want to let somebody in?
I know you're going to kill me before we take a question.
Take a question, Elena. I'm on a time thing. I'm going to get banged out of here.
No, I just wanted to tell people that if they wanted to be in alignment with someone like you, you could go to grantcardone.com/mentor and be amongst other people that are also looking for help and mentorship from you at this time. But let's take a call.
Uncle G, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mark, I can. How you doing, buddy?
How's it going? So my question is for everybody still in college who's stuck at home right now, like, what should they be doing?
But what I would do, bro, is I'd get through college as fast as you possibly can right now. You probably already bounced from your dorm or your student housing.
I'm from Westchester, New York, so I'm really stuck in the house.
Yeah, so a lot of people, like, you know, one of the worst real estate investments in the country today is student housing. I have avoided it, thankfully. I've avoided it the entire time because I was worried about colleges getting cracked just because the amount of money it costs to go to college. This coronavirus obviously is no one anticipated this being the thing that cracked it. But kids all over the world are going to learn that they can study from school. They could probably get more done from home than they can at school. I'd get through my courses as fast as possible, bro. Spend 2 hours a day on your courses, get through them online, and then go figure out how to start making some money.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, college for too many people has been an avoidance of work. It has been putting off the inevitable. I got to go work. I got to get money. I got to learn how to be valuable in the marketplace. That's what I would tell you to do. Thank you for being here.
Grant, Jane Green wants to know, how do you make money?
Number one, you gotta not worry about toilet paper. You gotta go get money, not go get toilet paper. Okay, now that might seem very simple to you guys, but when you're spending your time and energy watching other things other than if you're watching anything right now, every Netflix moment should be spent going to get $1. How do you convert your closet into money? How do you convert old watches into cash? What assets do you have at your house that you could convert? Who has money? Who has money? Have you made a list of who has money in your life? The world is not out of money, folks. Do you understand the stimulus programs? Do you understand the SBA programs? Have you already filled out your applications? I have. My applications were filled out 10 days ago. You guys this is the toilet paper analogy. You're trying to put new content up on YouTube. That is not the play right now. You need money. You guys agree with that? This is not a time to build your brand.
So Good Luck Dies Hard wants to know if they should take their 401k out.
I would take $100,000 out. You're getting 3 years to pay it back at no interest and no penalty. 100% would do that today. How about Reed Keyed Rock? Go ahead.
Hey, Uncle G, how you doing?
Good, man.
I hope you're doing great. Yeah, one of my questions these days is that a lot of people that I know has lost their motivation and they think everything in their career is going to be over. My question is, how can I help the people around me to keep their motivation and keep going for your goal, whatever it is?
Just tell them the truth, man. Tell them the truth, dude. You're going to zero. It's the sooner you guys get to zero, the sooner you're going to get motivated. Okay, that's it.
That's it.
Get people to
Yeah,
zero.
I get it. Point.
Okay, the moment you get your back completely to the wall.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really get that.
Thank you, my friend. Okay, Elena, what do you know what I mean by that, right? Like when I'm going to zero and getting back on the hustle.
Yeah, it's kind of the eat, I mean, it's a bad analogy right now, but it's the eat what you kill mentality. It's like when you get hungry enough and you realize in your head that you have nothing, you'll do whatever it takes to feed yourself so you don't die from starvation. Unless you want to tap out, submit, roll over and die, which some people might, but not our 10X people, because this virus isn't going to stop us. So the going to zero is an eat what you kill mentality. You need to accept today that you have nothing and get hungry enough and creative enough to ethically go out and do whatever it takes to generate income or energy or promotion to yourself, to your brand, to set yourself up for when it opens, to do whatever you can to generate any sort of an income today.
Yeah, and that's why the wealth, that's why wealth distribution happens at moments like this, because the wealthy, they convert extremely quickly and they start putting what they have at risk again in order to build something more, because they're not trying to capture what they had. Let's ask Jeanette what she's got going on today.
I'm over here. I own a juice bar in California. And I'm also a teacher, so I'm fortunate enough that I get to be home with my kids and also be able to start really kind of taking the time to work on my business. But I'm trying to figure out how to really maximize on, because we're still selling, people are still coming in, people still are concerned about their health and they want to eat right. So just any ideas, I don't know, to get more people in the door, because the one thing that does mess us up, that doesn't bring in the customers, is this weather. It's not the virus, but it's the weather that doesn't bring people in. So I'm trying to figure out how to get more people in the door.
I have an amazing idea. Right now, you can take advantage of the truth of the scenario, which is this coronavirus is attacking people with weaker immune systems. And that really seems to be an area that is a point that needs to be addressed. And if you have the things that can boost your immune system, and I'm no expert, is the raw fruits, vegetables, the juices. So if you can put out content right now on what people can do other than washing their hands, which we've all been told, we haven't really been educated on how to boost our immune systems with the ginger or the this or the that. So my idea is if you could put out videos or content of what you can do and then offer, we have this immune boost or blah, 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 get yours today. I don't know how else you want to word it, but that's my two.
Yeah, what is the weather bad right now over there?
Yeah, it's like nonstop raining in California right now.
What if you targeted, just the three or four or 5 or 6 blocks around you and did some kind of delivery thing?
That is the one thing. So I lost a few employees. They left on their own because of a lot of our employees are younger. Yeah. But that is one thing. So that's something I can do. I just haven't gone there yet. I was trying to do some kind of we were using the platforms like the Uber and all those things, but they charge so much money. So I do need to do something on my own. It's
even Jeanette, think about, because the customer's not wanting to go out there. The question is, are you willing to go out in the bad weather and even go door to door? Yeah. So these are times when people actually start seeing new ways to do things. If you guys want that money bad enough and you want to keep your business afloat bad enough, People are going to stand in unemployment lines in Miami. There was lines in Hialeah, Miami yesterday, where people are violating the 6-foot rule in order to get an unemployment check. They'll stand in line for the unemployment check. Will you guys stand in line to go get that money, bang on a door cold? I mean, we're back to basics on what it takes to rebuild. Yesterday,
I don't know how to.
yesterday we fed, Elena and I think Elena, I'm not sure the number of families, but I think it's like 36,000 families, first responders were fed, nurses, policemen, fire departments. So Elena, you made that possible. Obviously I helped with it, but I just want to congratulate you for doing that as well. Okay, I hope you guys found this beneficial today. Elena, any last comments? I think Will wants to ask a question real quick.
Hey, how's it going, Uncle G?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
What's your plan on what industries are going to emerge out of this? And really, how bad is this going to be?
Dude, this is terrible. you guys, like people are saying, man, Grant Cardone's getting really negative. Okay, yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible. I'm gonna prepare for terrible and hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
There's no downside in that. Prepare for terrible, and I hope I'm wrong. Okay, I'm gonna prepare for a Category 5 hurricane that's gonna last 2 months, and who knows, maybe it's just a wimped out storm, and I get to say, hey, nothing bad happened. So Elaine and I,
Gotcha.
we're bolted down for the worst case scenario. So what do? First thing we do is go to zero. Second thing we do is cut all spending, economize everything, okay? Make a list of all our assets and our liabilities. What can we start converting from one column to the other column? If it's a liability, how do I convert it to an asset? If it's an asset, I want to make sure it stays an asset and doesn't become a liability. If you're a car dealer right now and you got a bunch of inventory out there, that's liabilities now. The assets became liabilities. If you got inventory, if you're in the produce business and you got a bunch of produce, bananas, guess what? Bananas were assets one day. By the end of the week, they're liabilities. They going bad. So again, guys, I want to spend, here's the deal. Your discipline and your follow through becomes either an asset or liability. I want to help you guys get through the next 8 weeks. Who are you going to call? Who's got money? How can we help you write scripts to know how to call them? How can you break the old paradigm of what you've been doing? Who can you get in front of? Who can fund your projects? Who's got the money? How do you follow them up? If it's just down to you and no one else, you don't have a staff, what can you do to make sure you come out a winner? So I'm going to spend the next 8 weeks. The website's grantcardone.com/mentor, grantcardone.com/mentor. It's 8 weeks. It's live training, 24/7 support, literally for the 8 weeks and all the way through to the end of the year, and a visit to our headquarters in Miami whenever all this clears up, and that's free. Okay. There is a registration fee to the grantcardone.com/mentor because we want to work with people that are invested. So love to see you guys there. Elena, you're awesome, buddy. Hey, by the way, also when you join this, you get a program that Elena and I created called Get on the Same Page. You got to get everybody in your life on the same page right now. The people around you are either assets or they're liabilities. There's nothing in between. Go, Elena.
Thanks, G. Thank you so much for being able to be available today. I know you have to go. Be great. Nothing else pays. Literally. Be great. Nothing else pays. The G&E Show.
Guys, thank you so much. Join us for the G&E Show every Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We're on the same page with each other, and we hope we can be on the same page with you today.
My goal for this conference was you walk in and you look around and say, this is important. Everybody in the room is going to be believing one thing: we're going to expand.
It's been more than I ever imagined. We've already got our tickets for next year as well.
30 countries have showed up for this event.
Grant Cardone, Elena Cardone, can you please clap your hands? People, come on.
I'm here to help you. Finally, I feel like I'm doing something equivalent to what I'm supposed to do. Let's fix this place, Kevin!